Hey, this is Angel. This is my 21st day in a row making a video like this. Um, that just seems so crazy to me because when I first started making videos like this, I was just like really sick and going through it, but still feeling like I wanted to do things. And I was like, maybe this is like a good time to make videos. And I just kept going. Something that came up for me today was the things that we don't talk about, the parts of life that get hard, the things that come up that like we don't really share, and the aspects of life that like people don't really get to see fully. So, one of the reasons why I was thinking about this was because I watched a financial video and it was talking about being like fake rich and how like a lot of people like they just kind of like keep up appearances by like purchasing all these things and like leasing and renting and just kind of like putting on the illusion that they are wealthier than they are. um Same kind of thing as like if like I was like viewing this place before I moved into where I'm at now. It's like I was viewing this place and the guy who was like showing the place, he had a BMW, but like there was obviously something wrong with the car. Like it was like smoking and like it just didn't sound like very good, and it was just kind of making me like think like damn, like maybe he has this car, like he's presenting that like he has things together, but it's like he obviously needs to like address this. And I think it's like very difficult, like the way that we view success in this type of society. It's like there's a lot of like status symbols, and like those status symbols are constantly kind of like showing us like what we should trust, like what quality is, like all of these like ideas of what it means to be like successful. And it was just like really making me think how like we define that for ourselves. Like we define success for ourselves. And thinking about like the things that we don't talk about, it's like there's a lot of people like just out here with ideas of what they want to do, like dreams, like desires, and we're all just kind of like trying to make it work all the time. But there's things too that like keep us from like the types of lives that we want to live. And it was just like making me think like how there have been like so many times where like I've been in hard situations or like financial ups and downs or like emotional ups and downs, things that like really kept me from being able to feel like I had like a normal life, or like I was like just being able to like live like a normal life. And sometimes like it really was just like in my head, like, and that's not like to gaslight myself. It's like it is in my head because it was like mental health issues from a result of like trauma, from a result of just like experiences that led me to feeling like unstable, like not stable within myself, like not grounded, not being able to pursue things because I had like a lot of like blocks in that way. And there were times where like, I could be like out, I'd be like out at a cafe, but I had also like just gotten evicted. Or times where like I'd be on the bus and like I didn't have like a place to go at night. Or like having a job and like making a lot of money. I mean, a lot of, like making enough money to like support myself, like have a place, do all these things. but feeling like very lonely and like I didn't have anyone like looking out for me or like any care in my life. And it's just like really makes me think about like how we treat people and like how we like really don't know like what anyone's going through. And I think that like, I forget this sometimes. Like we all, like everyone like tends to forget this sometimes, but like having that reminder again, it reminds me that like comparison is not even just that it's like damaging, it's that it's like an illusion. Like we don't know like what other people go through. We just know what we go through. And like I feel like a lot of times when we're dealing with like isolation, when we're dealing with like feeling like community is divided or like we don't have people who are like in our lives looking out for us, it's like very easy to fall into kind of like a victim state and not recognize that like other people go through things too. I think it leads a lot of people just like feeling unheard, and like everyone's like just asking to like be heard, to be seen, to be acknowledged, like for their experiences, for like the good things and like the hard things that they've gone through. And I've tried to like fight this many times like within myself too, and not fight it in the sense of like, I mean sometimes it has like felt like a fight, but I think now I'm like really trying to like reframe even the idea of that, like acknowledging that like I have had hard experiences, and acknowledging that like I have had moments where like I was not able to rise above it. Like I just needed to like have time and space for it to pass. And at the same time, other people could be going through something even harder, like even more difficult to manage. And like that's just how it is sometimes. And that doesn't mean that if I'm constantly like comparing myself and my situation to like other people, like I'm sure I'll always find someone who has experienced something harder than me, has experienced something that like I could have a lot of empathy for, and still be dealing with my own thing, be dealing with not having capacity or not being able to like hold as much space because of because of just like things that I was going through. That's my little cat. They're just being vocal right now. Don't mind them though. They're fine. um but yeah, like the things that we don't talk about, like the things that come up where it's like that's how life goes, it's like things come up, things happen, like we have emotions, it gets difficult, and like sometimes people aren't around for that. And I've had so many times where like I didn't feel like anyone was around for when I was going through things. Like I leaned a lot on like watching YouTube, like watching different like creators, or like watching readers, like spiritual practitioners that like just allowed me to get through a little bit further. Like if anyone's ever heard like taking things like moment by moment, hour by hour, like it's like taking things day by day, but it's like when you're dealing with like emotional distress, trauma, like reliving things, it's like taking it moment by moment, because even within an hour, like emotions can change, things can come up, like depending on the environment, what we're exposed to, it's like just like memories flood in, like all these things happen. And I think that there's like so much pressure, like so much external pressure in the society that like makes us not be heard, not be seen. Like there's a lot of division and a lot of like feelings of like I'm trying to think of like what even the word would be for it. I'm sure like I'll come up with some kind of word for it, but like what I'm trying to describe is like that there's a sense of like vulnerability from someone. They feel like they've been like a victim in one way, and then another person feels the same in a different way, maybe, but there's like a disconnect. It's like people start to act like, well, you don't know what I've been through, you don't know what like I go through. And it's like it's true. We can never, even if two people go through the exact same thing, they're going to affect those people differently. The way that people cope, the way that people manage their emotions is like it's so unique to them, to like their experience. But it's like if it's a constant cycle like that, if we're constantly like just trying to, in a way, like prove that we've experienced hardship, like we need more care, we need more support, and at the same time we're kind of saying that like we have it harder than other people. Like there are situations that are harder, there are things that like are very hard to go through, very painful to go through, and still like everyone can feel like a lack of care, like a lack of support, because of just like how limited everyone's capacity is in a world like this, in like a society like this. That just feels like a lot of division, a lot of overworking, a lot of burnout, a lot of stress. Like when we're living in like a high stress state constantly, it's like exhaustion. Like you just, it's not like we can't maintain that for a long period of time. And going through some of these things that like I'm talking about, like um just instability, like housing instability, like financial instability, emotional instability, like having all these feelings, like it made me be living in chronic stress where like even if I would kind of roll with the punches and be like, okay, like I'm, like I'm hopeful, like things will kind of go on, it's like in the background of my body, of like my mind, it's like I was still kind of on, like I was still kind of just like feeling very activated, like my nervous system like activated, just kind of like being very, not even like aware, but like vigilant of like the next thing, like what do I have to do next. And I think like a lot of people have experienced like these kinds of things, and even sometimes people who are not showing that they've gone through stuff, it's like we can like mask our emotions, like that's like something that a lot of people do, like just kind of being able to like get through the day, get through like just tasks, things that we have to do, managing our responsibilities, like we can mask a lot of like what's really going on. And it can be a challenge, and it's like when we're doing that, I feel like a lot of it is like a result of just like this kind of division, like feeling like everyone is so drained and like tired that like we can't offer that much support to people who are experiencing those challenges too. And like I feel really grateful that like there have been so many times where like just it felt like miraculous, like a friend stepped in, like someone offered help, someone pointed me in the direction of an opportunity, and like I was able to just kind of like keep seeing what was out there and like receiving care, receiving help in small ways, and like being grateful for those small things and allowing that to build momentum on itself. And it's like, this came up for me because I'm feeling like a little bit more stable in like where I'm staying and like just kind of like my situation. Like I can start to like have more autonomy in like my choices and like understanding like where I can grow and like how I can grow. But it's like it's been momentum. Like it's been understanding like what I was doing that was hurting me, like, and being able to have discernment too of like what is like good for me in the moment. Like, I made a previous video talking about like saying yes and meaning no. I think like being able to preserve our energy and like move our energy in a direction that like feels like stable, feels calm, like feels like we can build and like just continue to grow. It's like things still come up, hard things will still come up, we're still met with challenges, but it's like being in that kind of like frame of mind where we can start to have like a little bit of flow, and like even if we're not exactly like where we want to be, or like there's all these like dreams that we have, it's like we're still in a place where like we can take the first step, and then the second step, and then the third step, and then by that time like you're walking, you're not even like counting the steps anymore, like you have some momentum, like you know what it is, you know what to do. And I think like that's how it was for me. Like, I just kind of felt like I was running like all the time. Like, I was just like racing, like always felt like I was behind, like always on like borrowed time, borrowed money, like not really feeling like I could have that sense of calm, because it was just like, well, anytime like I sat down or like rested, it was just like, even if I couldn't name what was happening, it felt like there was just like white noise like in the background of my brain. Like, I just like, there's just like so much like chaos, so many loose ends, so many things that like I had to tend to, that I just like didn't even know where to start. And every time I would, it would just feel like super overwhelming. And it's like having like a big ball of like tangled yarn, and you're just like, the only way to untangle it is just to do it slowly, like just each assess like each piece, try to find like the end of it, try to undo it, figure it out, and like I was able to start kind of like paying down like some debts that I had, and like minimizing a lot of things that I had too, like really assessing like what was important to me. Like, was I like accumulating things because of the scarcity that I felt? Like, was I moving in a way that was like causing me to have more, like, just like have more complicated things to tend to? And I think now I'm just like really, and I'm in the process of this now, like just like really still feeling like, okay, like I'm working at this, but I have momentum, and like I can keep going, like I can understand why I was in the state that I was, not just like, and I think that like financial, like being in like a financial state where like you're super uncertain, like you don't know what's going to happen, like maybe you're working a little, you have like a side hustle, like things like that. It's like, I think that like when we're dealing with like so much like emotion and like so many like unprocessed things, and so much like so much like uncertainty just like in how we feel. Like we don't know like if we're going to be triggered by something. We don't know like it just feels like we're walking around just like with like an open wound, you know, that's like not being cared for. And it's like going through that made me realize like how having those kinds of emotions like they're so tied to like the way that I live, like the choices that I make, like the way that I manage money, the way that I manage time, the way that I'm like doing things and moving. It's like so many of my choices were emotionally driven because so much of my life was like in survival mode that it was like I was just moving to survive. Like I could not think beyond like the next day. It was just like, okay, like what do I have to do right now? And I think that we do naturally have like survival instincts. It's like if something comes up, like if chaos happens, it's like we're able to, you know, kind of get on our feet and like be like, okay, like what am I going to do? Like how am I going to get out of this situation? But it's like if that's prolonged and we never have like time to like truly rest or like feel like deep connections or like have meaningful conversations or like have time to like feel like rested in our physical bodies, feel like our health is like being maintained and like taken care of. It's like over time it starts to really like affect, like in my case, like I feel like it really like affected like how I felt. Like I was dealing with like a lot of chronic pain and like things like that, where being able to take time to like feel like, okay, like I can at least like know that I have like shelter, you know, like even even things like that that seem like basic to some people, it's like it is not a given to everybody, you know, it's like not everybody has that like right now today, you know, and it's like being able to like name the things that I'm grateful for, the things that like I can really feel like, okay, this is a resource. It's something that I have gratitude for, and I don't need more than that in this moment. That is like success to me. It's like, okay, like I am I am good. Like I have not just the things that I have like materially, but like the prospect of things like learning new skills, trying new things. It's like I have the prospect to get better. Like I have the potential to get better. I'm setting myself up to be able to improve and to grow and to expand. And it's like that in itself too is such a it's like such a good place to be in because it like breeds abundance. It's like abundance is not just like what we're feeling like in the moment, but it's like the time, the potential, like the the ability, all of those things start to build on like what you're trying to do. It starts to like help you grow and expand over time. I think like the things that like we don't talk about that like we're going through, it's like sometimes like someone could see a person and they're like, oh, like that person is so talented, you know, like why aren't they more successful than they are? But it's like we're constantly like measuring a type of success based on what we're being like told is success, not just like what we're deciding for ourselves is success. And I think because like so much of that too is like we're taking it in from like media and from like all these different directions, and it's just become like a cultural norm. It starts to feel like a lot of pressure on everyone. Like it starts to make everyone feel like they're not doing enough, they aren't enough. but like that's not true, you know. It's like being able to like reconnect with yourself and like really recognize that like we are enough even if we didn't do any more than what we're doing right now, like we just are enough. It can really help like change the way that we're also like seeing other people and the way that like the standards that like we're holding ourselves to, because it's like, you know, we have standards that we hold ourselves to like in our character and like the way we're being, but it's like if we're constantly like measuring success up against like what we're told success is to be, then it's like a moving target. Like it's it's not going to be like able to allow us to find like calm. It's like just it's like racing. It's like trying to like race to get somewhere that like the more you go, like the farther it gets. And I don't think that's to say that like we shouldn't have like goals or like we shouldn't like strive for things. Like absolutely we should. But I think like if we're doing that in a fractured mental state and in a way that's like hurting us in the long run or like making it difficult to like maintain the type of life that we're living, I think it's like being able to assess that and question that and like figure out the ways that like we do feel our best, like our healthiest, our calmest, our most thriving, like regardless of what we're being told that is. It's like we have to like find that for ourselves because everyone is different and everyone like thrives in different ways. Um, that's what came up for me today. So I hope that anyone watching can find ways that they feel like they can thrive personally and like things that allow them just to go through the day like moment by moment if they are struggling or if they are feeling like they don't know how to um recover from what they're going through. It's like just like try to be gentle with yourself, go slow, like do things that feel good like in the moment and like allow that to build on itself. Like even small habits really do help, like they compound onto each other. um so yeah, that's what I had right now. I hope that you have a good time. Stay chill. We'll chat soon.